In this game, we are constantly gripped by a sense of fear, as every second it feels like someone in the forest is watching us. All of this happens in the game Nightwatch. Make sure to watch until the end to find out what happens to the main character. Events occur on the tower. The main character is a park ranger named Jimmy, whom we play as throughout the game. It's his very first night on the job.
First night at work. I have a feeling it's going to be a long one. I just need to stay awake now.
Jimmy began adapting. In one of the lockers, he discovered a flashlight, while on the desk lay a detailed note from the management outlining his job duties and responsibilities. The crucial part was that he needed to check the dense forest every 30 minutes and carefully monitor the radio in case any tourists called for help. It also mentioned that during our free time we could attend to our personal matters, and another park ranger would replace us in approximately a week. Everything is clear. The main character noticed the hidden gun just in case. He also had a computer station where you could easily check the current weather conditions. The main character decided it was finally time to get to work and went outside to scan the distant horizons with his binoculars for any potential signs of fire. Everything seemed clear at first, but when he looked to the west, Jamie suddenly noticed a plume of smoke rising in the distance.
It looks like a camp a few miles west of here. You can see the campfire.
He went inside the house. At that moment, some strange noise came from the old radio.
Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? You are on the line with the parks department. You have an emergency?
Someone's breathing could be heard on the
line.
This is definitely not funny and this is not a game. If you don't have a real emergency, please do not use this channel for any reason.
Someone screamed.
Just some damn neighborhood kids and their annoying freaking pranks.
Jim, not paying much attention to the situation, went back to working outside. He was looking at the other sides for any signs of smoke. Suddenly the light inside the tower went out. It looks like the generator ran out of gas. The main character cautiously descends in the cold, blustery, and windy weather. His guess was confirmed. The generator really did run out of gas. Jimmy went to the pantry and took a canister from there. On the shelf, he saw a certain floppy disk called Labyrinth of the Minotaur. Returning to the street, he refueled the generator and the lights came back on. While Jim was climbing back up, he didn't notice anything unusual. He decided to take a short break and play an interesting game he found on the dusty shelf. This game operates based on text messages, and he needs to escape the maze by choosing the correct direction provided by the game to find the exit. He played long and hard, but eventually, when he decided to go west, someone unexpectedly started knocking on the door. Jim went to the door to see who it was. But surprisingly,
I don't see anyone.
although no one was present, the main character chose to explore the base of the tower. Someone might have come. He went into the back room but found no one there. Jimmy headed back. Suddenly, from the doorway, a man in a firefighter's uniform wounds him, but it turned out to be just a dream.
Oh my god, it must have been a really bad dream I had. I dozed off. Better check that everything is okay.
Jim started looking around the room and soon realized that the power outage, the computer game, all of it had merely been a vivid dream. While the main character was sleeping, the weapon disappeared.
I swear there was a hunting rifle right here.
Its whereabouts are unknown. Jim decided to go outside and look around, putting on his yellow raincoat because it was raining heavily. After inspecting the entire perimeter, he confirmed that everything was in order and then returned to the tower. Signals were detected on the radio.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Are you the park ranger?
The protagonist confirms his role as the park ranger.
Alright, I know this probably sounds silly, like I'm just being paranoid, but I genuinely feel like someone is secretly following us. In the forest, near our camp.
Where are you?
The tourist states their location. Jim finally found them and asked how many there were.
I think there's someone there.
Could it be a bear?
The vacationer clarifies it is not a bear. It sounds like a pig. But in reality, it is not her. It feels like someone is imitating her.
It sounds like you guys are spooked, but it's highly unlikely anybody is out there. The park is pretty empty this time.
Is there anything you can do? Can you check it out for us?
I'll come by to check it out if that will make you feel better.
Okay, thanks. Please hurry.
The protagonist approached the tourists. In cold, rainy weather, trudging along without any weapons. He walked, navigating by the map. At some point on his way, he happened to see an empty basket lying there. It was likely forgotten. Additionally, there was an abandoned house nearby, inside which there was an old toy and dark bloodstains scattered on the dusty floor. In another part of the house, there was a drawing on the wall.
Goat skull and satanic graffiti. Children must be. We had a fantastic time scaring people at this event.
While the main character examined the graffiti, someone walked past the house outside the window. Jim didn't notice it. Deciding that everything was fine and it was just children's mischief, he continued towards the campsite. At one point, Jimmy unexpectedly finds a backpack lying on the floor.
Backpack. Someone dropped it.
The main character moved on. The rain had already stopped by then. And finally, on the horizon, he saw the campsite. Jim approached him.
Hey, is anyone here?
Surprisingly, there was no one there. Only a lit flashlight lay on the ground. Jim went to inspect the tents. The first one was empty. In the second one, there was a radio that made noise. Inside the third tent, he found traces of blood. Something terrible happened. The protagonist felt slightly anxious. And suddenly, not far from him, the cries of a girl could be heard.
I'm coming. Where are you?
Jim ran towards the screams. On the ground, he saw a teddy bear, and he kept running. Suddenly, a masked man attacked him. Jimmy finds himself in a cage in a filthy room. On the other side of the bars stood a maniac in a mask with a drill in his hands. He watched his helpless victim bloodthirstily. Jim himself was completely naked and desperately trying to say something, but he had a tight gag in his mouth. In the end, the maniac kills the main character, and a Bible verse appears on the screen. As you may have noticed, the maniac has been following us since Jimmy first appeared in the house. The maniac himself is the main villain from the horror game Power Drill Massacre, whose distinctive feature is that he gruesomely deals with his unfortunate victims using a powerful electric drill, creating a terrifying and unforgettable experience. I also want to mention, do you remember that text-based game the main character played? At the moment of choosing the western direction, the game ended because the hero died. It was a prophetic dream, as Jimmy was also heading west because the campsite was there, but you already know what happened to him in the end. Also, without knowing why, but apparently in an earlier version, the nightmare ended with the tower catching fire and the main character walking into the flames and burning. Creepy though. Oh yes, the final message displayed on the screen at the end of the game eloquently describes how God provides comfort to people in the afterlife according to this particular biblical verse. There will be no more pain and suffering, and all memories of the previous life will be completely forgotten. Looks like I remembered everything. Follow us on social media. Spilly Willy, this was Willi with you.